tonight we're talking about the stories in your head. So I was just saying that based on the song, I like the way I'm feeling now. I don't know whether you like the way you're feeling right now or the way you felt earlier in the day, but sometimes we cannot place why we're feeling the way we're feeling. But the truth is, it has a lot to do with the stories in our head. What stories are you telling yourself? What stories have you been telling yourself that is making you to feel the way you are feeling? Guess what? There's something you can do about it. Welcome once again tonight to the Soul Clinic with the Soul Doctor. I am the Soul Doctor and my name is Jola-Grace. I'm so passionate about the health and the healing of your soul. So yes, tonight we're just going to get into it. If you've missed any of the episodes, all the replays are on my IGTV. You can always go there and just, catch up and just refresh your soul. Because like I love to say, that the prosperity of the soul is the foundation of the prosperity of every other area of our life. I'm a Christian, and the Bible says in 3 John 2 that I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So that means when your soul is prospering, every other area of your life will prosper. And we all know, like I've said so many times, that your soul consists of your will, your mind, and your emotions, right? And so if this area of your life is functioning well, if it's healthy, it will also affect the other areas of your life. So what kind of stories have you been telling yourself? Let me know where you're connecting from tonight. Someone says they're joining me from Brazil. Let me know where you are connecting from tonight. I would love to know exactly where you're watching us from tonight and how your day has been. How are you feeling? Embodiment of grace. Hi, I love that. Thank you for joining. Still Sky. I am Shady Show. Thank you for joining. So Omololade is joining from Canada. What's the weather like in Canada right now? It's beginning and beginning to cool down a bit here in the UK, but it's still cold. We have cold winds blowing, so I think that just makes it really worse. Hi sweetie Elise, how are you doing? Emanuela, nice to see you. Enju Eledua. I absolutely love that I call myself Enju Eledumare, because that is phenomenal. One thing I say to people is, if you can know who you are in God, if you believe, okay, cold, snow, oh my goodness. I think that's one thing I'm grateful for right now in the UK, that, we don't have that snow thing, hasn't happened just yet, because I just absolutely, the snow is nice. You can go out and play, but when you have to go out and drive, then I don't want that. So yes, snow and fog, those are those things I don't really want, because it just makes it very difficult for you to drive. Ronke there, good evening. Thank you so much for joining. So I was just saying that when you know who you are in God, when you know who you are in Christ, when you understand that you are a masterpiece, that the master created you on purpose, for a purpose, you will be able to hold your head up high and walk in your purpose and know that no matter what, God's got you. So what are the stories you have been telling yourself? See, the stories we tell ourselves are just those things that are in our mind. They're just there in your mind. And it's so funny how something will happen, you interpret it a certain way, and then you begin to act. So let me give you a practical example of one of the stories we tell ourselves. I share this example a lot when I'm doing my coaching classes, and it's very relatable. So let's say there's this, so I'll use because we women have these tendencies more. Not our stories, but the example I want to use, because everybody tells themselves stories in their head, men, women, it doesn't matter. So let's say you have a guy that you're dating, your boyfriend, and you call your boyfriend one afternoon. He's at work, but you just call him because you love to call him, and he doesn't pick the call. So you keep calling, and he doesn't pick his phone, and then you begin to say to yourself, maybe he's with that's his secretary. So assuming this your boyfriend, has a very, good looking secretary in the office, and then you start telling yourself, it must be that secretary. It's lunchtime. Why is he not picking my call? And then you start building stuff in your head that, I think he must be dating that secretary. He's cheating on me. Okay, right now I'm going to go to that office. So you begin to build up, and then you begin to say to yourself, the way that secretary looked at me the last time I was in that office, she looked at me, there was that look in her eyes. I know what the look said. The look meant that, you think you have this man to yourself, and then you start building that story in your head. And then, assuming this person said, okay, in fact, today we must sort this thing out. You get your car keys, you drive straight to your boyfriend's office. And you get to the office. In fact, you get to the secretary. The secretary is not there in her seat. She says, I knew it. Something is going on. And then angrily, you open the door of the office. Dang! You enter. And then you see your boyfriend, the secretary, the chairman of the company, some strategists, different people in a very crucial meeting. And you open the door angrily and shouting. Ah! Now you enter the room. Of course, imagine the embarrassment for yourself and then for the guy. And that may lead to a lot of things. Don't let's even continue the story. I'm just giving you a story to give us example of the stories that we tell ourselves in our head. You call somebody, the person didn't pick, your boyfriend. What about you say to yourself, oh, it might be in a meeting. Oh, very embarrassing. It might be in a meeting. Maybe his phone is on silent. Maybe his phone is in the car. But naturally, we just tend to have this irrational, negative thoughts in our head and tell ourselves different stories. So you're walking down the road and you greet your neighbor, and your neighbor seems not to have answered you. You tell yourself, it's because. Okay, so let me bring it down to those of us who are in diaspora. So you say to yourself, oh, I'm sure she didn't answer me because I'm black. I'm sure they didn't give me that job because you just tell yourself that story. It is in your head and you believe it. And guess what? It affects your behaviors and it affects your results. Somebody says, what if he doesn't respond for this? Okay, now that's just an example. In fact, it can be your girlfriend. Sometimes you call your girlfriend. Okay, so now I'm not even saying romantic relationship. Like, can be your friend. As a girl, you call the person and the person doesn't pick, and then you say to yourself, oh, she must be avoiding me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe because this is it. Maybe because that. And then when the person calls you back, you don't pick her because you're like, well, at least I called, it didn't pick. Why is she calling me for now? I don't have time. Have you thought that she might not been able to pick up a call because she was in a meeting or because she forgot her phone? This has happened to me before. I forgot my phone at home and people were trying to reach me throughout the day. If you are one of those people that called me that day and you said to yourself, oh, I don't know why she's not picking. Is she did it? And then you come to a conclusion. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. And let me say that I've been saying this thing again, but because I still hear it, so let me just quickly use this opportunity to say it again. It is not a crime if you call somebody and they don't pick their call. They have not committed an offense. Because especially people from the country that I come from, they sort of call you, and then maybe because you couldn't pick, and then the next time you speak to them, like, I was calling your phone, you did not pick. As if you have killed somebody. And I'm like, hey, I've not killed anybody. I just didn't pick up my call. Don't you even think that perhaps I was in a meeting. Perhaps I was, there could have been any reason why I didn't pick my phone. Why do you have to make up a story in your head about why I did not pick my phone? Often the stories are negative. Often the stories are irrational. But the sad thing is they affect our feelings, the way we feel, and they affect our behavior, and then they affect our outcome. Somebody said that we tell Nigerians. So I'm telling you, the way they will attack you, you would think that maybe you've killed somebody. I was calling, you did not pick. Calm down, calm down. It's only my phone. Send me a message now. Send me a WhatsApp message. Maybe I'm in a meeting and I can't talk, but I can probably respond to your message. What about that? But somebody just feel as if you have to pick my call when I call you. No, it's only God that I have to pick his call when he's calling me. You know, precise. Okay. I don't. Somebody's writing one language that I don't understand. Please, I wasn't up for a call at the time. Not a good. Absolutely wrong. Cases I wasn't up because sometimes you are not even really doing anything. It might just be that you're not just up to it, and it's okay. Which is why some weeks ago we talked about boundaries, right? If you're keen understand. If I call some of my friends and they don't pick, I understand why they're busy, they are doing this, but I don't even think for 1 second that is because of anything negative. Do you understand? So don't be pressured. Don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure that you have to pick everybody's call. Sometimes you're reading, you're trying to pray, you're trying to meditate, and a call comes in. It is a call. You will go back to that thing because sometimes you get distracted. So which is why we're talking about you setting healthy boundaries for yourself and also for other people. Now, listen to this. 94% of people get intrusive, unwanted thoughts. I don't know about you, but I do get it. So, most of us get it. It's normal for these thoughts to come in. And listen, right? Some people have said to me, before in one-on-one coaching sessions, I can't control my thoughts. This is just coming to my head. That's not true. You can control your thoughts, right? The analogy I use is you cannot control birds that fly over your head. If you're walking outside, you're going for a walk, birds will fly. The birds will be flying in the sky over your head. In fact, they can come close. You can't control that. But listen to what you can control. You can control a bird from perching on your head. So thoughts will drop into your heart. Those intrusive, unwanted, negative thoughts, they will come into your heart. I'll tell you what to do with them later on as we progress tonight. But then you can determine whether they stay and they affect your mood, or they affect your outcomes and they affect your behavior. Now, a lot of times, the stories we tell ourselves, those unwanted, intrusive thoughts, they are as a result of our past experiences. So, a lot of times, your experiences will begin to shape how you think. It will begin to shape your beliefs. Your thoughts is a direct correlation of what your beliefs are. So for instance, I'm sure you've heard it before. If I have, so this is a mug, but let's assume it was a glass and there was half, the glass is half rather. Someone that's had a nasty, toxic experience, that negative things have been happening to them, they've been through abuse, they've been through trauma. They can look at that glass and say, this glass is half empty. It's half empty. I mean, I don't know what to do with this glass. It's half empty, I need a full glass. But somebody else that has, maybe perhaps gone through trauma, they've healed, they have a healthy self-esteem, they feel good about themselves, they are focusing on positivity, they can see the same glass cup and say, this glass is half full. I can still do something with it. It is half full. At least it's not empty. And see, our brain, right? The way we were created, the way our brain is wired, our brain was wired with positivity bias. So that means by default, our brain thinks positivity. But because of the experiences, because of things that's happened to us, trauma, life, environment, we learn these negative beliefs. We incorporate these negative beliefs into our lives. That is why the children don't pick parents because they don't allow They don't do all this. You must ask. Okay, so you're still on that call thing. So it's very important for us to understand that our experiences, the things that we go through in the past, right, affects our beliefs. And then your beliefs affect the way you think. If so now that lady that I used an example in the beginning about, her going to her boyfriend's office and believing that the boyfriend is cheating. If we ask her, right, we will see that she has experienced heartbreak in the past. We will realize that somebody she dated in the past cheated on her with the secretary. So, because that had happened to her in the past and she did not deal with it, now she has a belief that if she's dating a guy and the guy has a good-looking secretary, he will be cheating on her. That is her belief. Or she comes to a belief that says all men cheat. Have you heard that before? Or are you one of them? All men are liars. So you believe, all women are manipulators. Women only like money. Women, it's money. If you don't have money, forget about it. Where did these beliefs come from? Where did they emanate from? Your past experiences. The things that happened to you in the past, which is why I say over and over and over again, stop allowing what happened to you to keep happening to you. You must rise above your past. And that's why I've written a book. I'm so excited and I'm so grateful about, for this book. Is my first book. So now you're looking at an author. Make sure that you call my name with respect, as in, what I'm talking about. You're looking at an author. So we're going to be launching on the 18th of March. By the grace of God, you get all the information and all the details in due time. But the 18th of March, lock it in your diary. It's going to be a virtual launch, okay? You can get that book. And one of the things I say is that no matter the kind of past that you've been through, right? You need to go through a process of it, especially if it's a negative past. Go through a process of healing so that you can change your beliefs. A lot of times when I'm working with clients and we're talking about stuff, and I realize that, hey, you're feeling like this because you believe that this is the way things happen. You believe that nobody is genuine. You believe that everybody that is in your life because they want to take something from you. And that is because of what happened to you in the past. But see, what you're doing now is you are self-sabotaging. Because, see, women really like good things that cost money. Men, don't get me started tonight. Everybody likes good things. Everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody likes good things. Men, women, but everybody. There's a way we were created. If you don't like good things, then something is wrong somewhere. Everybody likes good, and there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? So, our past is like a pot. And you keep that pot there, and you keep drinking from that pot. You keep drinking negativity from that pot. But you need to come to a point and tell yourself, no, my past cannot control my life again. I need to rise from that past, because in the present, you are self-sabotaging. Because you believe because of what happened to you, everybody else will behave like that. But everybody else is not like that. You can't even generalize. Some people say, all people from particular state or particular country are like this. Says who? Now, let me use another example. So, Tayo is saying that women are this. So, you can say, all women are only interested in your money. Because you've had 1, 2, 3, 4 girlfriends that were like that were materialistic. Now, 7.5 billion people in the world. How many women do you know? Or maybe you are, it's guys that you say, all men are liars, or all men cheat, all men this. How many men have you met? It's because of your experience. But you need to be intentional about the way you think. You need to begin to ask yourself, these stories that go on in my head, what is the proof that I have that these things are true? I don't want to get ahead of myself. So we need to be conscious of the stories we tell ourselves, because they prevent us from being productive. They prevent our brain from being creative. They prevent us from being all that we are supposed to be and functioning the way we're supposed to function. And like I said earlier on, our brain is designed for positivity, right? The brain has an optimism bias. Your brain always wants to think of the positivity. So when something negative happens, it throws your brain off balance. There's imbalance. You have imbalance in the frontal and the back of the brain because of negativity, because that is not the way it was wired. So you need to understand that it is important for us to always check the stories in your head. You don't understand the impact of those thoughts, your thoughts. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That means the quality of your life is directly proportionate to the quality of your thoughts. Mind-body connection. I've talked about that so many times. There's a direct connection between what is going on in your mind and how you feel in your body. So the feelings, you feel them in your body, because if you're feeling sad, for instance, you will realize that it can affect your stomach. You can just have this churning, your stomach can be churning. Or sometimes if you're feeling anxious, you can start throwing up. It's a feeling, you're feeling anxious, but then you start to throw up. Sometimes you find yourself shaking. I mean, when I was struggling, I was struggling with, trauma, anxiety and all of that. I used to physically shake like uncontrollably because of what I was feeling. Mind-body connection. So you are telling yourself a story in your head. The story is not even true. And then you become angry because of the story you are telling yourself, and then you begin to act out. That anger begins to affect you physically. You are shaking. You are panicking. You are pacing up and down. And what's wrong with you? Yeah, this must be happening. What is the evidence that this is happening? You don't even have any evidence. It's just something that you made up in your head. So, like I said earlier on, the stories we tell ourselves, provide an insight into what is going on in your subconscious mind. What is going on in your subconscious mind. And it also points to the fact that you have some negative beliefs that are deep-seated inside of you that you need to deal with. Okay? Now, listen to this. Researchers at the King's College London has found that repetitive negative thinking, right, may increase the risk for Alzheimer's disease. I'll read that again. Listen, if you're not listening to anything. We're talking about thoughts. The stories that we tell ourselves. The stories that are in your head. Researchers at the King's College London found that repetitive negative thinking increases the risk for Alzheimer's disease. And remember, at this point in time, there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, dementia. There is no cure. What happened? Just negative thinking. Negative thinking. That you need to heal. The trauma is not your fault. The abuse is not your fault. But you owe yourself that responsibility to go through the process of healing. It is a gift that you give to yourself. Sometimes I work with a lot of people, and people say to me, oh, I can't afford therapy. I can't afford coaching. I can't afford this. But see, if you really sit down and look at it, now, if I'm healed, I can function properly, I can think properly, I can be productive, and then I can make more money. But the time that I'm saying, oh, I'm waiting, to get money to go for coaching and therapy, imagine the things I could have lost, the opportunities that you've lost at that point in time. It is important for you to heal. One of the series I'm going to do one day, I'm going to get some of my clients just to come and talk about their experience. I mean, somebody still posted something in our group a few days ago, and I was just smiling. I said, God, I thank you for what I'm doing. I thank you for the grace you've given to me. Because, I mean, not only have I been through these things myself, I understand. We're talking about abuse, trauma, everything. Depression, clinically depressed. I've been through all of that. But also by the grace of God, I'm certified to give people tools to help them overcome it. The prosperity of the soul is the foundation of the prosperity of every other area of our lives. What stories are you telling yourself? What stories are you telling yourself? Now, these irrational thoughts, these, intrusive thoughts, right? They are illogical. And most of the time, they distort reality. Look at that story, that example I gave us. Nothing was going on. The guy was in a meeting, having a meeting, a serious meeting. And then because you sat down, you told yourself a story, this person did not pick my call, it means that they are cheating on me. Now, think about the reality that has been distorted. There was a reality, but most often than not, especially, and I'm sure that perhaps that probably will not be, this is fiction. So don't think that I'm talking about anybody. I just made that up because a lot of times this has happened, but this particular story is fiction. It did not happen to anybody. But, most often than not, that lady that got angry, thought the guy was cheating, went to the office, she probably would have done something like that. And so, can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Please, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. I think my connection seems to be cracking up. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, you can hear me. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, worst case scenario, do you know what can happen to that lady? That relationship might end just because of that. Thank you, sweetheart. That is because, see, I was telling a group of women, I said, women, especially if you're married or you have a serious relationship, women don't understand that men are looking for peace. So let me advocate for the men tonight, because sometimes they say, oh, I'm not attacking, I don't attack, I'm just saying the truth. But women don't understand that. And correct me, men, if I'm wrong, but from my friends and some of the things that I've seen in relationships is that men are looking for peace. They want peace. They want a woman in their life that can give them peace and tranquility. That's why if you start to, and because men don't really talk as much as women talk. So women, we have 25,000 words every day. Men, they only have 10,000 words. So you are there talking. The guy, especially if the guy, maybe the job he does is, he talks for a living. So by the time he comes, he doesn't even have the energy to reply you. And then you are talking. So the guy will just go somewhere else. Go and find somebody that will give him peace. So ladies need to understand this. That and there was someone I was saying, I was counseling one of my mentees, and the person was like, I want my husband to do this, I want my husband to do that. I said, okay, to you it's serious, okay? And I'm not saying you should not confront this issue, because this is an authentic issue. But I said you need to deal with this when the atmosphere is light. Don't call him and say, we need to talk, sit down. By the time you say that to a guy, they just disconnect. I'm telling you, correct me. I know there are men watching, correct me if I'm wrong. They disconnect. But I said you will, the way you will present this case, it might be when both of you are watching, you might be watching a movie and laughing. I said, worst case scenario, when you guys are in bed and you just finished you just finished making love. Just say, oh, sweetheart, this thing that you do it, I don't really like it. And I've been wanting to, and then you will say it without any seriousness. You will see the guy will do the thing, because you said it, they have already taken the order. So back to my fiction the story I was sharing. That might be the end of that relationship for that lady. And then she will say, no man wants to stay with me. Every relationship I enter into, they just break up with me. Hello? Perhaps let's check you. The stories in your head is what is not making you to have a relationship. The stories in your head. So maybe you're trying to get a job, and then you keep, especially like, again, let me go to those of us living in diaspora, because I love to be practical. You tell yourself, oh, the color of my skin They probably not give me a job because of the color of my skin. Irrational behavior. And so by the time you are going for that interview, you already told yourself that, so that they won't say I did not go. They won't say that I'm not trying. I'm sure by the time they see the color of my skin, they won't give me. It's color of my skin. Or because I can speak, I don't have the British accent, or I don't have American accent. So I'm not sure they will be able to, they might just say my accent, it sounds, hello. Stories in your head. You are self-sabotaging. You are hurting yourself. Yes, you might have had a negative experience. That doesn't mean that in the present, that experience should control you. Rise above it. Heal. Because like I said earlier on, because of the things that we go through, the experiences, it creates irrational beliefs in our mind. And those beliefs create our thoughts. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. What stories are you telling yourself? What is going on in your mind? Some irrational beliefs, I'll just quickly go through examples of irrational beliefs. There are messages about life that we send to ourselves that keep us from growing emotionally. So, everybody hates me. Everybody hates me. I don't deserve positive emotion from others. I don't deserve attention. I don't deserve love. Because one person hurt you, one person out of 7.5 billion people in the whole world. Yeah? One person abused you. And so you come to that irrational belief that I don't deserve love. I don't deserve positive attention from others. Or I'm a burden. People will not want to people don't want to hang around me because I'm a burden. And then you tell yourself, I'm not intelligent, I'm trash, maybe I didn't finish school, nobody will hire me. And then because you tell yourself those things repeatedly, now you believe it. You believe it. Nobody will ever love me. So you will find yourself going into relationships and then people are just leaving you. They're just leaving you. They're just leaving you because of the beliefs. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your life, the quality of your life is directly proportionate to the quality of your beliefs. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about yourself? How do you see yourself? Because what you believe about yourself, we're all energy beings. People can smell it. They can sense it. That this person does not really believe they are worth anything. This person does not really believe that, life, good things will happen to them. This person believes that they are worthless. So anything goes. What do you believe about yourself? I am powerless to solve my problems. I have so many problems. I hear people talk about problems. Sometimes some people, anytime you're talking to them, it's always a problem. Problem. Because that's what they are thinking. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If you want to know someone, what is in their heart, keep talking to them. Just keep talking. I love to have conversations with people. I believe I'm a good conversationist. If you want to have a conversation, come and meet me. I just love to have... it's because I'm trying to find out what is in your mind. Now I've told people my secrets. But seriously, on a more serious note, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What is in your heart? I have pride. This one happened to me. That one happened. And then I was going on the road. And then immediately I started going, I just saw the crocodile. The crocodile now came to cross the road. And then the antelope now flew over. And then now the elephant now said, no, I cannot go again. And then this one happened. And then I now had to go back home. That's why I could not go to work yesterday. Always a problem. Do you know what? You repel people who have positive biases, who have positive mindsets. If you have negative mindsets, can two work together except they agree? If someone has trained themselves, they have healed themselves, they have developed themselves to a place where their mind is geared towards positivity, and you are still there. Yes, because of the experiences you've had. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying you did not go through what you went through, but you can't stay there and allow it to disrupt your life. People, you will repel people. So it's negative. You know, one of my clients was saying to me, I think the last session we had that, oh, because, you know, I've been working with her. She said, my mind is now changing. I see things positively. You know, I'm expecting positive. And then, you know, I called an old friend, and this friend was still talking to me about how bad things are, how gloomy things are. And, you know, and she was just like, that she was feeling irritated, like, what are you talking about? And at the end of the call, she was like, so this is how I used to talk before. Like, so I was this negative before. That right now, that she can't even stand negativity. So there is no how. Positive mindset, negative, it cannot work. And it's negative mindset, negative beliefs is actually working against you. Some things that you are struggling with in your life today is because of your beliefs, of your negative beliefs. Everybody, you know, sometimes what you focus on grows. What you focus on grows. What you pay attention to increases. There will always be problem in the world. I hope you know that. As long as we're in this world, there will always be problem. There will always be something that will not work out. There will always be someone that will make you unhappy. There will always be someone that will cheat you. There will always be that negative part of this world, because we are still here. But the question is, what are you focusing on? What are you choosing? Because it's a choice. What are you choosing to focus on? Omoteniola, good evening. I see you. Sparkle here. Distinctly, I see you. Bemi Okeowo, good evening. Fresh Land, Mo Ogunleye, Funky, Kemi, Talk to OSCs. I see you all. Thank you for joining. Keep sharing and keep, you know, tagging people to join the Soul Clinic tonight. We're still talking about the stories in your head, irrational beliefs, negative beliefs, the stories that we tell ourselves that are not backed up by anything. Okay, and it affects, that's the problem, is it affects our day-to-day life. Mind-body connection, it affects our lives, it affects our outcomes, because you can't even think, you can't find a solution. See, we are excuse me, I met someone some time ago, and the person was introducing themselves. The person said, I'm a solution architect. I was like, I like that. You know, but you know that you are also a solution architect. Yeah. Every problem, every seemingly problem that you think you have, you can come up with a solution. Why am I so sure? Because you have the mind of Christ. Because God created you in his own image. So you are a co-creator. Apart from scientifically how brilliant and how intelligent human beings, I think we're using just about maybe 2% of, you know, our brain that we can use to function. So imagine the potential that you have to solve problems is unbelievable. But we just think that we cannot. I don't know what to do. You know, the style of coaching and therapy that works most effectively is you finding your own answer, because we say you are the expert in your own life. And some people don't like it. They say, okay, so coach, what do you think I should do? I said, you know what to do. Because when you begin to search inwards, it will become a lifestyle. Something happened, instead of you saying, oh my God, my car stopped working now. Hey, these village people, they have started again this morning. How will I go to work? I might not be able to get to work. I will be late for work. And then when I go to get late for work, they will give me query. If they give me query, I will lose money. I will not be able to pay for my mortgage. And then it keeps going and spiraling and spiraling and spiraling until you start having headache, and you know your day is just ruined. Because of how you processed one negative incident that happened. But wait a minute. My car will not start in the morning. Oh, what can I do? What can I do? Immediately you are thinking of solutions. You're not even thinking, okay, the car has not started, the car has not started. It has happened. What can I do? Okay, can I call a friend to help me? Can I get a taxi? Can I call work and tell them, oh, my car is not starting? Can I call my breakdown? What can I do? And when you begin to ask yourself, what can I do? Solutions will come because you have it inside of you. You are a solution architect. Write it in the comment section. I am a solution architect. You are a solution architect. You've got it on your inside. It is because of those irrational and negative beliefs that you often are not able to draw out the solution from your inside. Now, I'm just trying to rush because we need to finish this tonight, because from the month of March, I'll tell you about the month of March in a minute. I'm excited about the month of March on Soul Clinic. Okay, so let's look at a few things, that we need to begin to do, to help us come out of that, because it becomes a habit, okay, and is affecting your life negatively. Yes, I am a solution architect. Write it. I am a solution architect. Yes. Ekens, Madu, Elise, talk to Oasis. I am a solution architect. You've got it in you. You are a solution architect. Yes, you are. Now, the first thing that you need to do when the negative thoughts come, right, is to embrace it. I'm sure you're like, what? Embrace what? Bring it in. Don't ignore it. A lot of us, we often have this, we are very skilled in ignoring things, just sweep it under the carpet, I just pretend it's not happening. It didn't really happen. That thought, I'm not thinking about it. No. So let's go back to my fictional example. Yes, you're a solution architect. Full time. Let's go back to my fictional example. So I called my boyfriend's phone and he's not picking. Not doing that. And the thought comes, maybe he's cheating on you. Maybe he's with a lady. I just leave. Let me go do something else. Let me go and watch a movie. Let me just cook. Don't ignore it. When that negative thought drops in, embrace. Sure, you say you are negative. Come inside. Sit down. Don't ignore it. Don't sweep it under the carpet. Don't, because sometimes we sweep it under the carpet. We keep seeing it. Say, at least I can't see it. Okay, it was the time. Some people might be getting ready to eat, because I was going to give you a very graphic example of what happened. So I'll just give you a very light one. Imagine every time, you want to clean your house, you just, instead of you to clean, sweep, pack it and put it in the bin, you just keep sweeping everything under your chair. Everything under your chair. When people come to your house, it will look clean. But you know that under that chair, be under your bed, is dirty. And you know what happens over time? That particular room will begin to smell. There will be a stench. So people will come in and they will see everything is clean. I mean, at least where they can see is clean. But then there will be a stench. They'll be like, something stinks when we go to that person's house. I don't know, but everywhere looks clean, That's why sometimes people don't understand why people don't relate with them. Because they dress up. They've got the hair, they wave, they make up, everything looks okay. When they appear, wow. But then people come into your life and then they just leave just like that. The way they come, the way is the way they leave. Because something is smelling somewhere. Faith, good evening, Faith. Sis, I see you, sis. Folashade, good evening. Official NK, hi, sis. Good evening, how are you? Good to see you here. So, you don't sweep the negative thoughts under the carpet. Pay attention to it. In fact, once it appears, he's not picking his call, maybe he's cheating with another lady. Okay. Oh, really? Thoughts coming. Sit down. Ask yourself, okay, what evidence do I have? So the way I paint this usually is take that thought to court. Invite. Don't tell it to go. Come inside. Come inside. Yeah. Let's go to court. Let's present this case to the judge. Oh, judge, this is what's going on. Okay, really? When you are in a court of law and you take a case to court, and the judge, when the judge finishes listening to the counsels, what does the judge say next? Any lawyers in the house? I mean, I've been to court several times, so I call myself a semi-lawyer. Bukola Fato, good evening. Neo Praise Star, Grizel Taiwo, good evening all. Thank you so much for joining. When you present a case to a judge, the judge asks you for, thank you very much, Angel, ask you for evidence. Because without evidence, the case will be what? Dismissed. Like, are we playing? Are you here? Are you winding me? Sure, you didn't wind me. That's what the judge will ask you. Really? You've come here to waste my time? That's the same thing you do for the thoughts. That negative, irrational thoughts. That intrusive thoughts. When they come in, you just ask, okay, sit down. Okay, he's cheating on him because he's not picking his call. Okay, evidence? Is there any evidence? To back up the fact that this thing is happening. Have I seen something before? Is there something that he has done that I have seen? Is there evidence? Oh, as I'm going for this job, I don't think they will take me, or maybe because of the color of my skin, maybe really? Evidence? The color of your skin? How does that come into play? Is that what has that got to do with your ability to do the job? No, don't tell me that. I'm going for this job interview, and I'm going because I have the skill set to do the job. They're not looking at the color of my skin. They're not looking at the color of my skin. I'm going there confident that I've got what it takes. Invite the thoughts in. You should do a solo, good voice. Just start yourself. Oh my goodness. NK is here, so I would feature in NK's next single. Sure, you hear, NK? Don't leave me. So invite the thought in, and what? Question that thought. Question the thought. Oh, so my car is not starting, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, they will give me query, they will do this, they will do that. Hey, calm down. Really? How? Why? Is your car not starting your own doing? Why are you thinking like that? Most of the time, you will realize that. So you call your friend did not pick up. And then you start telling yourself, it's because she doesn't like me again. It's because of this. It's because that my neighbor, she showed this. Evidence. What evidence do you have that thought is real? A lot of times, you know what I do? When because I said I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God, I believe in God, I believe in the Bible. I go to the scriptures. I pull out a superior evidence in favor of positivity, because there are two cases that are there. One is negative, one is positive. They will not give me this job because of this, because of that. I say, favor. It says, favor will go with me. Favor follows me everywhere I go. Good success is my portion. I will bring out positive evidence against the negative one that doesn't have any evidence. So, pay attention to it. Don't ignore it, okay? Pause, right? Pause and deal with that thought. Do you know what the Bible says? Pulling down negative imagination. It's there, but you need to pull it down. Pull it down. Deal with it once and for all. Don't ignore it, because it will come back again. And when it comes back again, it's coming back stronger. And once you've dealt with it once and for all, that's it. Now, so deal with that. And like I said, replace that negative thought with a positive one, and then hold it in your head for at least a minute. So let's go back to my fictional, I should even give her a name, fictional example that I was using. So this lady, you call your boyfriend, he didn't pick. Just tell yourself, okay, he must be busy at work. I know he's a very diligent person, he's so committed to his job. Perhaps he's in a meeting. Okay, he must be in a meeting. He's in a meeting. Okay, hold it in your head. He's in a meeting. He didn't pick my call because he is in a meeting. He didn't pick my call. He's in a meeting. He's doing something very important. That's why he didn't pick my call. Just stay with it for at least a minute. So your car didn't start and you're telling yourself you're going to get late to work, you're going to get query. No, I'm not going to get query. I'm a diligent staff. They know me. They know that I don't mess around. So I'm going to be met with favor and compassion. Favor and compassion. Favor and compassion. Favor and compassion. And there will be a way out. There's going to be a way out. There'll be a way out. You know, something happened to me last week. In fact, it was last week, you know, when I was coming back, got back into the UK from Nigeria. And you know, you come out and then you are waiting at the bells to get your luggage. And the last time I traveled, I think I waited over 2 hours for my luggage to come out. And I was like, oh, what is this? Why is my luggage not coming out? And so this time around, just last week, and I was there, and the things were started to enter 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes. And then that negative thought came. Like, you are going to be here for the next 2 hours. Remember the last time? Immediately I just said, no, my bag, come out. I kid you not. It was not up to a minute. I didn't pray. It was just the way I switched my thoughts. My 2 bags followed each other and came out. The things shocked me safe. I shock. Like, I say, really? This thing works like this? It wasn't up to, I kid you, it wasn't up to a minute. My 2 bags followed each other and they came out. Because I just said, no, I'm not going to be here for 2 minutes. My bags come out. My bags are coming out. All in my thoughts, in my mind. And my bags followed each other and they came out. What stories are you telling yourself? What is going on in your mind? And you know, we need to, because of the things that happen in our environment, our experiences, we need to get to a place where we begin to train our mind for positivity. We need to create a habit of positivity. It takes about 9 weeks, 63 days for you to form a new habit. And you have to be intentional. Be intentional about saying to yourself, when something happens and is about to go negative, quickly bring it back to positivity. Because positivity helps you to be productive. It frees your mind of toxic and negative emotions. It frees your mind. It helps your relationships. Because then you are not in a relationship where you are, you know, constantly having negative biases towards people, constantly feeling people are attacking you or feeling, you know, entitled to stuff. You are happy, you are free, you give people leeway. Yes, you have your boundaries in place, but you are not always bickering and looking for problem and, you know, just fighting every time. Because you have a positivity mindset. You have a positive bias. Because that is the way we are created to be. You know, there's so much, you know, that we still need to talk about, but time will not permit me